What if an artist developed an art career out of someone else's photography, appropriated someone else's images, and changed them only slightly and hung them in a gallery? That's essentially what Richard Prince did, making him one of the more controversial figures in contemporary art. After moving to New York in 1973, Prince worked for Time Life, the magazine publisher, giving him unlimited access to the advertising images used in the magazines. Looking at these ads inspired him to rephotograph the works for his artistic practice. Some of his earliest works fall in the realm of what's called narrative art, combining text with images. In one work, for example, he describes being gifted a parking space after stopping a burglary across the street from his studio. However, it was his work reappropriating others' photography that would put him in the spotlight. Take, for example, his untitled Cowboy piece from 1989. For this piece, Prince simply rephotographed the Marlboro ad, which initially included the photo. He did this for a number of other cowboys, creating a series of these reappropriated cowboy images. He saw these images as idealized versions of American masculinity, a macho man on the horse. In an interview, he'd talk about his process, stating, "Every week I'd see one and be like, oh, that's mine, thank you." He did what he called joke paintings, literally taking jokes, sometimes pulling them from the New Yorker and put them on canvases to be hung in galleries. He paid homage to, or perhaps poked fun at, niches of Americana, depicting motorcyclists, hot rod enthusiasts, surfers, and heavy metal music fans in arrays of photographs. Prince's work is about authorship, identity, and who gets to own an image. He doesn't just reappropriate works, but recontextualizes them entirely, often forcing the viewer to recontextualize the tropes of Americana. His Nurse Paintings series borrows from pulp novel colors, erotic, masked, and mysterious, debuting in 2003 and fetching multi-million-dollar price tags. With the advent of social media, Prince had a fertile ecosystem of digital imagery to appropriate. He took users' Instagram photos, enlarged them, and hung them in Gagosian Gallery. Art critic Jerry Salz called these genius-level trolling. And it should be no surprise, Prince has been sued a lot. Photographers, models, even Instagram users have filed suit against him. Sometimes he loses the cases or settles for large sums of money, but courts have sometimes ruled in his favor under fair use. Why? Because in recontextualizing the photographs, he's changing the meaning of the images. Love him or hate him, Prince forces us to ask, in the age of screenshots, who really owns the imagery that we put out into the digital world? Today, we're now dealing with the use of our images by AI companies to train their models on a massive scale. But Richard Prince was asking questions about ownership of images well before the AI boom. What do you think of Richard Prince's work? Drop your take in the comments and follow for more controversial artists.